This is a look at the IP camera, which arrives with a range of accessories including this wall or ceiling mount which screws into the base of the camera and then can be angled to suit whatever position it's in. Can fit it either onto a wall or onto a ceiling. There's a mains power cable. This is quite short, so unless you're planning to place the camera next to a power point, then the chances are you will need to use an extension lead. There's a cable for connecting. It can be either connected wirelessly or via the cable. It can sometimes be easier to set it up for the first go with the cable and then use it wirelessly thereafter. A few screws for fixing the bracket and a very handy, very simple and very straightforward setup guide which goes through step by step how to set it up. Connecting really is as simple as switching on the camera, entering the password and ID code of the camera, entering your Wi-Fi password, and then it's ready to go. Another little leaflet here with the warranty. This is the camera. It's well built, it feels good, it's nice and smooth, nice and solid. Has a speaker to each side, microphone to the front, infrared lights for filming in the dark, and to the back is the network cable port, a slot for a micro SD card and the power cable slot, and an antenna as well which can be angled to suit. The camera can rotate from side to side and up and down, and this can all be done remotely to cover whatever area is needed. Let's now connect it and have a look at it and see how well it works. Setting it up is as easy as plugging it in, downloading the app, then inputting the ID number which is found on the bottom of the camera along with a password. And it's a good idea to change the password to something original rather than the one supplied with the camera, just for security. Once the ID is entered, press Next. And this now gives you instructions of how to connect it, using the cable for the first time one-off connection and then wirelessly after that. It connects quickly and simply, and then you're asked to change the password to something more memorable and more secure. After changing the camera password, you then need to connect to your router and enter the password of the router, and then the camera connects. But if your phone or tablet has a QR scanner on it, then that's even easier because you can just scan the code. A feature I particularly like about these cameras which work with the MIPC app is it's possible to have several cameras running at once. So you can have one camera in each room or cameras set up to focus on different areas within a room. And then you can switch between the cameras simply by tapping on the icon screen and switch between images. So let's have a look at this camera in use. The camera is set up to monitor my house bunny in his enclosure so that I can see what he's getting up to when I'm away and make sure that he's fit and well and eating and drinking and doing all the usual bunny things. There he is on the camera. There's the camera, and there's my bunny sitting on the windowsill. If my bunny should jump down off the windowsill, which he's bound to at some point, then we can use the app to move the camera to follow him remotely. I just drag on the screen and you see that the camera also moves around. So Willie's now jumped down, so we need to lower the camera and twist it around. So this is excellent for monitoring pets, as you can see via this demonstration, but also for monitoring a home for security because the camera can pan around into individual rooms or corners of rooms. There are also other facilities as well, such as a microphone here, which enables you to speak to whoever's in the house. There's a couple of seconds delay there, but very handy for speaking to an elderly or disabled relative. You can also take a still image or film them, if providing you've got an SD card in the back of the camera. The camera is currently in use in a room with the lights on, but after dark no problems at all because it has the infrared lamps on the front, so we'll film in mono in complete darkness. Let's see how it works away from home and at night. This is how the app works remotely and also the image that you get at night. I'm currently about 200 miles from home and I'm monitoring my rabbit using the camera in conjunction with the app on public Wi-Fi. It's not the fastest connection speed, so it does sometimes freeze on me. As you can see, it's 32 kilobytes at the moment, it's going down to 26 and then up again. But what I can see from this is that my rabbit is looking perfectly happy, perfectly healthy. He's been eating and drinking and pooing, which are all the important things for pets to make sure that they're healthy and well. The other features of this are the microphone and the speaker, which means I can actually have a conversation with him. Hello, Willie. Not sure whether he heard that or not. Looks as though he possibly did. I think he can possibly hear my voice as I talk here on the video. He does seem to be responding. Hello, Willie. Yes, he's certainly looking up there. If you imagine communicating with a disabled person or an elderly person who needs a bit of monitoring, this can enable you to have a two-way conversation and they don't need to operate the camera or do anything at all. All they need to do is sit in their chair and talk back to you, and you can watch them live at the same time. So that's the camera at night and operated remotely. It's a really good tool and toy. It's something that's really, really useful for monitoring a home or monitoring pets, and it also works really, really well, as you can see. I can see there that he's eaten pellets from his bowl, he's eaten some shredded carrot, and he's drunk some water from his bowl. All the very important things. This is a really good product which is set up literally in minutes straight from the box and can then be in use. We now have 3 of these cameras, one of which is used for monitoring the rabbit, another in the lounge, and a third in our home office. So that's used for home security, but also for monitoring my rabbit's health and making sure he's fit and well while I'm away. This would also be brilliant for monitoring elderly relatives or disabled people. You can have a two-way conversation with them and they don't need to do anything. If you find there's an intruder in the home, you can address them through the microphone, they'll hear you through the speaker, and that could take them by surprise. And if anything should be amiss, then you can do a video recording or take still images, which will be recorded via the micro SD card. This is a really good product for any form of home surveillance or security, or even just for having one in the front window to monitor any callers coming up the driveway, so you've got a little bit of notice. Very, very versatile and very, very simple to use. Highly recommended. That's why we've got 3 of them.